Leave me alone, let me wander. Don't tie my hands, just let me roam. I'm like a bird, just crying for space. Give me a brook and some sweet meadow place.
Today, we're starting out in East Texas and heading west to the wide open spaces where we can paint beautiful pictures and study the plants and fauna.
Oh, we'll be really close to Tyler, where they have a great art museum and also lots of beautiful roses. Can we stop there on our way?
Well, they do have a great museum, and roses are plants, so it never hurts to stop and smell the roses. Let's go.
So please let me wander the countryside.
Did you all know that Tyler, Texas is the rose capital of America? It is home to the country's largest public rose garden, which was started in the 50s when the rose industry in Tyler became so big, they literally supplied half of all the roses sold in all of the United States.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Tyler Museum of Art here in East Texas. It's a beautiful day, and this year we're celebrating our 50th anniversary. The museum is located on the campus of Tyler Junior College, and we're part of a wonderful cultural arts district that includes a performing arts center, the museum, and a wonderful planetarium. Enjoy our collection and come visit us.
Is my craving for the arches. Give me the field and sun on high. So please let me wander the countryside to ponder. A roaming vagabond am I.
Hi, welcome to the Tyler Museum of Art. My name is Caleb Bell and I'm the curator here. As our executive director Chris Lahey mentioned, this year is our 50th anniversary. Thinking about that and CASETA's mission, I decided to do a spotlight today on Ancel Nunn. Ancel Nunn lived in Palestine and had a show here at the Tyler Museum of Art shortly after its opening. He also worked at the University of Texas at Tyler, so I thought there was a really unique connection to that, as well as a recent acquisition that just came into our collection that I wanted to share with you all. Thanks. I wanted to start with the earliest painting we have by him in our collection. This piece is from 1968. It's acrylic on panel. It's titled Landscape with Victorian Cottage and Gazebo. So if you can take a close look, you'll see that the details are really just crisp and clean, really realistic, a style that he's very much known for, photorealistic, but also kind of placing these elements in barren landscapes. And so I just wanted to start with this particular piece to kind of highlight some of his earlier work, and then we'll kind of go through some later pieces and kind of talk about some other key elements of his work. While we have this painting out, I'm here with our registrar, Leah Scott. We wanted to point out this painting was gifted to the museum in 2001 but on the back of the frame is a newspaper clipping titled "An Artist's Timeless World." I want to point out that that is a photograph in Ancel studio with the artist. And keep this in mind as we move forward, because we're really going to discuss the studio in depth in just a moment. The bright and early image that you saw painted in his studio is an image that he used and came back to a number of times. And so we have a print by him in our collection as well, titled "Good Morning America," really just reusing and repurposing that bright and early imagery. And so this painting that was in his studio, he transformed into a print here. I wanted to share this recent acquisition with you all. This is by Lee Jamison. As you can see, the bright and early mural that was painted in Ancel Nunn's studio. Our director and I got to go see this mural in his studio several years ago. Unfortunately, it has fallen into disrepair, but because of the way the ceiling has fallen in on the particular building, it's really preserved and protected the actual mural. And so the mural is very vibrant and very much, with some flaking, pretty well intact. But so our director and I got to go see it, and then Lee Jamison decided to paint this painting in 2019. He visited it and took this photograph, or a series of photographs, and then, as he's known for his East Texas paintings, decided to capture this particular place.
This subject was of particular interest to me because I knew Ancel Nunn's work from, I guess, from earlier study or something like that. It was as though I had been pre-programmed with it or something, but I loved the thing that he would do in his work, where he would do posters like the bright and early coffee posters on the outsides of buildings, and then he would paint the buildings in his work. And that had really caught my eye as being, just a fascinating vein of an artist's work. And so I kind of hunted around William Young, his son, is an artist in Palestine and knew where he could find this particular image. And I thought that it was going to be on the outside of a building. And it turned out that it was on the inside of what had been his working studio. So when I got there to take a look at it, it turned out that it was in a shocking state. The ceiling had fallen in, or actually the whole roof had fallen in. And it looked to me like it was in such a precarious condition that it could fall down at any moment. And so I very carefully crept in, took photographs as best I could, did the work from the photographs. But this was something that is fascinating to me because it speaks to a thing that is a constant theme in my own work, that is the perishability of human experience. The passage of time is always upon us, and I'm always mindful of that passage of time.
Another work I wanted to share with you all is here in our flat file. This is a watercolor. It's untitled, but it's from 1973. It's this watercolor with kind of some sketches, studies of gentlemen playing dominoes, similar to the porch scene. And so I just thought this is something you all might like to see. I wanted to end today's program with the painting Egg in Space. It was created in 1983. I want to just kind of point out the shadow and just this realistic capture of the egg, and share a quick story. A year or two ago, we had this painting out on display, and Ancel Nunn's widow, Renita, came by the museum, and I was talking to her and showing her the painting. And it was actually a painting of his that she never got to see. He taught at the University of Texas at Tyler and did this particular painting as a study for the class, a demonstration, and one of his colleagues purchased it basically right off the easel. And so she told me she had heard multiple stories about this piece, but had never actually got to see it in person. And so we got to share that with her, and it was just a very unique and special moment here at the Tyler Museum of Art. Thanks for stopping by today. It was a real pleasure to show you some of the works and share some stories that we have with the early Texas artist Ancel Nunn. He moved to Palestine in 1969, where he lived up until his time of death in 1999. So he had a really rich history here in East Texas. We hope you enjoyed today's program and that you will come visit our galleries sometime soon.
Leave me alone, let me wander. Don't tie my hands, just let me roam. I'm like a bird, just crying for space.
When stars collide, new worlds fill the sky, and something old is new again. Our love will fly on brand new wings, will glide like bending time, will change the view to bright life colors, all but blue. We'll hang new stars as something old is new.